What's up, Captastic ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode in this PTCGO series. Today is gonna mark the start of a new sub-series called Wizard Wednesday. And it is called Wizard Wednesday because we are going to allow the deck wizard to build a deck for us. But there is a catch here. We will be allowed to change some cards in the deck wizard in order to make the deck as optimal as we can with the changes that we are allowed. And the changes we are allowed is we are allowed to change 10 cards in the deck, and by change I mean either we can take out a card or we can change the count of the card. So if you take out a card and put another one in, that counts as one change. If you lower the count of a card, that counts as one change as well, and we can make 10 of these changes or adjustments. But let me show you, instead of sitting here and talking about it, we are going to start off. We will select a type for the deck. We are going to make a water-based deck in the standard format, and now we have to select two Pokemon which we would like the deck wizard to build the deck around. We are going to go for Empoleon, and then we are also going to go for the big old Toad. Where is he? There he is. Here is the Toad. So yeah, that's right, we are going to allow the deck wizard to build a deck around Toad. And let's see what it suggests. Alright, so let's go to a bit of a better overview here. It suggests a 3-3 line of Empoleon, and then 4 Toads, and then some Ho-Hos and a Rayquaza. Rayquaza line. Very interesting. So as you can see, this deck contains a lot of different energies. 20 energies, 20 Pokemon, 19 trainers. That means this deck is only 59 cards big. That's kind of strange because you would expect the deck wizard to make a deck that contains 60 cards. But oh well. So now we are allowed to make changes to this deck, and I can make these changes to 10 cards within this deck. That is the basic principle behind this Wizard Wednesday challenge. So let me cut here. I will make some changes and I will get right back to you. Right then, I am back, and man, I gotta say it was really tough deciding which 10 cards to switch out or lower the count of, increase the count of. It was really tough. So without further ado, let's go over the changes that I made. The 10 changes. I lowered the count of the water energies to 7. I put in 4 DCEs, 4 Fighting Fury Belts for the Toad. Then I put in 4 Sycamores, 4 Birches, 4 Ultra Balls, and 2 Shamans for draw support and consistency. I also put in these 4 Trainer's Mail, or rather I increased the count from 1 to 4 for the Trainer's Mail for consistency, and added in 2 switches to switch out our Pokemon if we start off with the Pokemon that we don't want to start off with. And those are the 10 changes that I made. Let's count them up quickly. 1 for the Shamans, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9. Ah yeah, I forgot. I also lowered the count of the Pokemon Center Lady here from 4 to 2. So that's the 10th change. And those are the changes I decided to make. Now, my question to you is, based on the original list from the deck wizard, what kind of changes would you have made? I would love to see the deck that you would have come up with if you were allowed to make 10 changes to the original list. Feel free to put the list below in the comments or send me a screenshot of your list. I'm very interested to see that. So that is it for the deck analysis. It is now time to find out if the changes we made this deck as viable as it can be, because that is the goal here. By allowing ourselves to make 10 changes, we need to be very careful about the changes that we make and think very hard and deep so that we can make this deck somewhat consistent, and that is what we are going to test right now by fighting some opponents. Alright, our first opponent of the day is Type Alpha _R. Type Alpha _R with a Lucario coin and a pure fighting deck. Maybe it is a Lucario deck, who knows? Maybe it is a Garchomp deck from the Breakpoint set. Very interesting card, Garchomp. I've been building a deck around it, probably going to put out a video on it sooner rather than later. And we start out mulligan, nothing in our hand. You see Corinas, ooh, Crushing Hammers, that's gonna be bad for us with our DCEs. If we, well, depends if we can get off, or if we can get off the Quaking Punch before my opponent uses those hammers, then we are safe. We will start off with a Toad here in the active spot. So all that we need now is a DCE to start doing some Quaking Punches, and my opponent keeps missing out on the basics, which is good for us. Then we can draw into some more cards, because honestly I do want to draw into some more cards here. Ideally we would want to get a Piplup so that we can start evolving, and we do see a Lucario. Yes, this is a Lucario deck. It's going to hit us for a ton of damage. Here we see strong energy, that's already 30, plus 20 is 50, muscle band at 70, that means we are already knocked out in almost 2 turns. If my opponent attaches one more energy, that means we are knocked out in 2 turns. So we will have to start Quaking Punching here sooner rather than later and get out those Empoleons on our bench. Let's see here, my opponent's battle compressing something. Oh, there we go. Battle compressors. Oh, Pokemon Center Lady, Corina, Lysander goes for a VS Seeker for the Corina. Look at that, I predicted that perfectly. 100% prediction rate. No, the question is what? Oh, Landorus, and the item card, a Muscle Band, I'm guessing. I am guessing. Oh, it's a red card. It's going to red card. It's very interesting. So I am assuming that my opponent runs red card and delinquent in this deck as a sort of a combo. That's too bad. We had a pretty good hand, but ooh, look at that. We get red carded in a quite a great hand here. We get another Toad. We even get a Trick Shovel. Might as well use this Trick Shovel right now. Look at my opponent's deck and discard whatever we find there. Yes, then we see the delinquent. I am in full prediction mode here. Yeah, wow. Let's discard that bad boy. Don't want to get hit by a delinquent. Here we go. We draw into nothing much here. Nothing much. Let's see. I do want to get a DCE, so I will discard this energy and the switch for now. We will go for another Shaman if we have one. We do have another Shaman in our deck. Excellent, excellent. Then we will go for another Trick Shovel. Trick Shoveling away at my opponent's deck here. What do we get? A Trainer's Mail. Don't want to see my opponent use the Trainer's Mail. We will go for our own Trainer's Mail, however. We get a Sycamore. Fantastic. I will go for the Sycamore. Put down this Shaman. Draw into 4 more cards. Hopefully you can get a DCE that way, as well as a Fighting Fury Belt. That would be excellent, but we don't get any of those. So I will actually go for, let's see here, I will go for the Sycamore. Sycamore all of this in our hand into the discard pile. We definitely need to get a DCE, and here we go. We get a DCE and another Piplup as an Empoleon. That's very good, and then we can start evolving very soon here. Let's go for the Quaking Punch, hitting for 40 onto the Lucario and locking my opponent out of item cards. Wow, that is a pretty good start here, I must say. That is a pretty good start. We see a Hex Maniac, that's okay. We have no way to get the Shaman back into our hand. We get hit for Corkscrew Smash, hitting us for a 100. That means we will go down next turn. That is too bad. Let's see here. We will attach this to the Toad, then we will evolve into the Piplup. We might as well attach this to the Toad on the bench, and we will go for a Birch. This is going to be a tough matchup for us because this Lucario is such a hard hitter. Oh, we get another Piplup. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we even get a Trainer's Mail, a Trick Shovel. Let's go for the Trick Shovel. Trick Shovel my opponent's deck. Another Trainer's Mail. Let's discard that, why not? And we'll go for our own Trainer's Mail. Can we get something here? We do get a Pokemon Center Lady, but that's a little bit too late, I am afraid here. So we'll go for Quaking Punch. Hitting for 40. That is okay, but it's not very good. My opponent does need a Muscle Band to knock us out, or another energy. That is what my opponent needs right now, because we have this Fighting Fury Belt, and he decides to attach another energy to the Lucario in the active spot. going to knock out our Toad, but we will probably might be able to knock out this Lucario if we can get the Empoleon. Wait, no, so we are doing... No, we won't be able to. Unfortunately, we won't be able to. Yeah. We're going to get hit for 140 here. That's a bit of a bummer. My opponent uses the Sycamore, discards a whole bunch of cards there. Some hammers, some Starling Megaphone, even puts down the stadium here. This is going to add to the damage. That means we will get hit for 160. Yes, this is very troublesome for us. Very, very troublesome. It seems my opponent is a bit indecisive at the moment. Here we go. See, he made up his mind. Goes for the knockout. Oh, 120. Why is that? Oh, it went for the corkscrew smash then, I suppose. Yeah, he did. We will promote the other Toad. And I think that's a good idea. Here comes the new Toad, fresh from the press. It will evolve into the Empoleon. And then we will... Let's see here. What do we want to do here? We do know that my opponent plays Pokemon Center Lady, which could be pretty bad for us if my opponent plays another copy. Do we just go for the Quaking Punch? I will attach this energy to the Empoleon. And I think we'll go for the Quaking Punch so that we can use the Pokemon Center Lady next turn. Hitting the Lucario for 60. That means the Lucario will get knocked out next turn. And we can heal up a bit for from our Toad. That would be ideal here. Here comes the attachment to the Lucario on the bench. If only we had hammers to discard that. We get hit for 160. My goodness, that is a lot of damage. We will go for the Pokemon Center Lady. And we will knock out the Lucario with our Toad, taking our first two prizes. Here we go. Let's see what we get. We get another Fighting Fury Belt and a Trainer's Mail. What we need really here is another Toad. That's what we need right now. Another Toad to work with. Because this Toad is going to go down very soon. Very, very soon actually. Yes. We need another Toad. Does my opponent have another energy? That's the question. Because if he does 30 damage, that's okay by me. That's not too scary for us. If he does 60, yeah, that's then we are going to get knocked out in 2 turns again. But it seems my opponent is having some trouble here with the item lock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he goes for the missile jab, hitting for 50. Because I forgot about the stadium. Herpaderp, I forgot. Let's see here. We'll go for the Trainer's Mail. Oh, we get an Ultra Ball. Fantastic. I will definitely be using that Ultra Ball. Take a look at our deck here. We'll discard the Cherno and the Professor Birch. And we'll go for another Toad. We also have another Empoleon in our deck, which we should be able to draw into this turn. We'll put down the Toad, adds the Fighting Fury Belt, and we'll go for the Sycamore. Excellent stuff here. Excellent stuff. And look at that. Here is the Empoleon as well as the DCE that we need for the Toad on the bench. Let's just keep these Toads going, shall we? You can get a Trainer's Mail. No need to use a Trainer's Mail right now. Or maybe you can switch into the Fresh Toad. That would be fantastic. We can't switch into the Fresh Toad, but we can get the Pokemon Center Lady out. I think I will go with the Pokemon Center Lady. And we will go for another Quaking Punch here. Quaking Punching to our Heart's Desire. Doing 80 to the Lucario. That means we need 2 more hits to knock it out. 2 more hits. Pretty annoying. Maybe I should have run Muscle Band instead of the Fighting Fury Belt. I think I should have because with the Muscle Band we would have been able to knock out the Lucario with 2 hits. Yeah. So that's, well, depends, because this Fighting Fury Belt might allow us to stay alive right now. If my opponent does not get an energy, we would stay alive with 20 hit points. And my opponent concedes the match. Look at that. I can't believe it. My opponent concedes the match against our Toad Empoleon Wizard deck. Fabulous, fabulous. That is really, really fabulous. Let's go here, let's take a look. MVP Seismitoad, cards drawn 60. How is that possible? Probably with the Birch. That's a lot of cards drawn. I'm quite amazed there. Damage healed 60. Okay, so I think I'll find one more opponent, our next opponent, and then we will call it a day for today's first episode of the Wizard deck. Let's go here, play. Oh, nearly at the chest there. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll call it a day after this opponent. If this is a complete failure, so be it. I do not expect all that much from this deck. We're facing Godissa Girl with, oh, Psychic, Lightning, Grass, Colorless. Godissa Girl looks like a man. No offense there, but you do. We will go first. And we will start off Mulligan. Unfortunately. That is pretty unfortunate. Our opponent does find 2 basics or more if he doesn't put down a basic that he still has in his hand. And nothing once more. Can we get a Toad? I want to get a Toad. We do not get a Toad. We start off with the Piplup. That's a bit annoying. We'll have to find our switch or try and retreat. Here we go. What are we facing? Oh no, are you kidding me? We are facing Night March. That is very, very inconvenient for us. I shall discard this Water Energy and the Sycamore. We will get our Toad out. That seems like a good plan here. Getting that Toad on the bench and attaching that Fighting Fury Belt to allow it to stay alive a little bit longer. Then we will go for a Trick Shovel. Look at my opponent's deck. I actually don't want to discard that Pumpkaboo. I will leave it in there. Let's see if I can discard the DCE. That would be fantastic. Oh, it's still the Pumpkaboo. Oh, because I forgot. Look at the top card of either player's deck. You may discard that card or return it to the top of the deck. I thought the deck got shoveled afterwards, but it doesn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter because we would have discarded the Trick Shovel in any case. We get a DCE here. We get another Toad. I will go for the other Toad and attach a DCE to the Fighting Fury belted Toad and end our turn here. That gives our opponent an opportunity to get his items going, so that's a bit unfortunate for us. Yeah, probably going to knock out the Piplup and going to discard a lot of cards, my opponent. So we will have to get that item lock going next turn in order to stand a chance against this deck. And we won't be able to one-hit knock out my opponent's Pokemon either with the Toad. And the Piplup will go down. That means we will need 3 more turns before we can get an Empoleon out if we get a Piplup next turn. So here my opponent sets up for one card and does get a Battle Compressor off the top deck. So that's pretty good for my opponent. Don't want to see those Battle Compressors. There go down go the Lampens in the discard pile. And a Sycamore. Wow, this is already pretty bad for us. You see a Fighting Fury Belt onto the Pumpkaboo. We get a Trainer's Mail. My opponent's using all of his item cards already. Really, really, really inconvenient for us. I'm not liking the sides of this. Not one bit. So this is going to be 6 6 Night Marches in discard pile for my opponent. Does he get the DCE? That's the question. He already has the Dimension Valley, or she. Still not sure if it's a boy or a girl. Very confusing here. Our opponent is trying some confusing tactics to confuse us with his appearance. Try and divert us from the game. Why are you taking so long, my friend? Here we go. Discards Vespiquen and 2 Joltics. I'm not sure why he discarded Vespiquen. And he doesn't manage to get the DCE. That is pretty interesting. We will attach this to the Piplup and retreat into the Toad. Start looking my opponent. We will definitely go for the Sycamore here, discarding those cards. Unfortunately, we have to discard the Pokemon Center Lady. We do get a Primplup. Excellent. That means we might get the Empoleon very soon. I will keep the rest of the cards in my hand for now, and we will go for a Quaking Punch, item locking my opponent. Oh, so we do stand a chance here. That was very surprising that my opponent didn't manage to attack, and now my opponent is completely item locked. Does he have a supporter? And no, he does not. He concedes the match. Are you kidding me? My opponent conceded the match? Huh? What? I should make more wizard decks, because wow, that's I'm not sure. I'm not sure why my opponent conceded. Anyways, that shows that I think that just shows how scary Toad still is in the format. Because if it would have been any other deck, my opponent probably wouldn't have conceded. Yeah, pretty scary, those Toads. Just makes your opponent concede. I think we shall go for one more match here, because that was a bit silly, that concede. Would have liked to see how it played out, actually. So, last opponent of the day is against Yumi 154. Yumi with a water coin. Oh, it's our coin. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. We lost the coin flip. Amazing as well. Go Yumi 154. Well, that's no comments on this hand. I cried a little. Oh, we are facing an Yveltal. This is we will have to rely on the Trainer's Mail and our top deck. That's going to be what we will have to rely on here. You see an attachment to the Yveltal and a Fighting Fury Belt. Oh my gosh, 170 HP Yveltal, as well as an All Night Party. So, an All Night Party. I think this is a Darkrai EX deck, because my opponent plays the All Night Party. We draw into Ho-Ho. Ho-Ho. Well, oh wow. We do get something here. We do get something. Do we go for the Birch or the Ultra Ball? I feel like going for the Ultra Ball, discarding one of these Piplups, and a Water Energy, or maybe the Ho-Ho. Let's discard the Ho-Ho. There is no need to see the Ho-Ho. Yes, we will discard this Water Energy, and then we will go for a Shaman and put down these Piplups on our bench. We'll even attach a Water Energy to the one in the active spot, so we can draw into 5 cards and hopefully get a Toad that way. Do we get a Toad? We do get a Toad. Excellent, excellent. And an All Night Party. Look at that, we get an All Night Party, just like my opponent's stadium. We shall go for the Trick Shovel. Look at my opponent's deck. Discard that Lysander, and then we will end our turn. Hopefully next turn we can start item locking. We need to item lock as soon as possible, and go for another Shaman as well. I did forget to look if I had another Shaman in my deck. I should pay more attention to that. That's really important, because if I now Ultra Ball and we don't have a Shaman, that's going to be very bad for us. So our opponent is going to do 40 damage to us. We see a float stone on this Shaman with a DC as well. My opponent must have a terrible hand right now. We're going to get hit for an Oblivion Wing for 40, and my opponent will attach a Darkness Energy to the Shaman if he does not put down any other Pokemon. Oh, goes for the Sycamore, so he does not have a terrible hand at all. See the Hypno, Zoroark. Does my opponent have... There's a Darkrai. My opponent does have the Darkrai. Goes for a Max Elixir and fails. Very interesting. My opponent fails Max Elixir. Does find a Fighting Fury Belt for the Darkrai. Will put 1 energy on it with the Oblivion Wing. These Fighting Fury Belts are very scary for us. Okay, here comes the Oblivion Wing, hitting us for 40. And attaching 1 Darkness Energy to the Darkrai as predicted. Here we go, and now it's our turn to shine. We will go for the DCE, look at the Trainer's Mail, get a Sycamore for sure here. Then we will discard the Empoleon and the All Night Party. We will go for... actually, we will go for a Prinplup. I think that's pretty good. We only have 1 Empoleon in our deck. That means 1 is prized. That's pretty inconvenient for us. So we'll put this Prinplup on the Piplup and go for the Sycamore. What do we draw into here? We do draw into a switch. Oh, very good. Do I wanna use the switch, however? I might want to keep the switch for the Toads, and I think that is what I will do. I will keep the switch for the Toad. I will retreat into the Toad and look at the Trainer's Mail. We find another switch. I'll actually go for the Pokemon Center Lady. Shouldn't have put down this Toad. I regret putting down that Toad now. I can't use a Shaman anymore. And that's going to be it for now. We will go for the Quaking Punch. Hitting for 30. That's not all that much. But we do item lock our opponent, which is okay. Here comes another Sycamore. So my opponent cannot use the Max Elixirs anymore. He's already down to 19 cards. Does get another Darkrai. Probably will get another energy. I don't see why my opponent would not... Oh, it does not! It goes for an Oblivion Wing, hits for 40. Only 40 and cannot attach any energies. That is crazy. That is pretty crazy. We will go for the... Let's see, we will discard the Lightning Energy and we will go for a Empoleon. For sure, Empoleon. So we can do some more damage on... or put some more damage on the board. Might as well attach a Water Energy to the Seismitoad in the active spot, so we could potentially do a Grenade Hammer at some point. And then I will... Should I keep this Pokemon Center Lady? That's the question. I will actually use the Pokemon Center Lady right now on the Toad. Next turn we can use the Birch. And we will go for a Quaking Punch, hitting for 50 onto the Yveltal. We will need two more turns to knock it out, because this Yveltal has 170 hit points, which is a lot for a baby Yveltal. We do have another Pokemon Center Lady in our deck, if I calculated that correctly. Our opponent uses the Lysander. We kept the switch in our hand for that exact reason. If we would get Lysandered out, or if our Toads would get damaged, let's attach the DCE to the Toad on a bench. We will switch into the Toad with the Water Energy. If we get another Water Energy, we could knock out the Yveltal, but we do not. That's unfortunate. We draw into a very bad hand as well. So here we go, Quaking Punch once more, hitting 450, and we are nearly at our first prize. finally. We are already more than 4 minutes into the game on our side and 4 minutes on my opponent's side. This is a very long game. I thought it would have been over, seeing as though the hand we started with 3 Piplups, 2 Water Energies if I remember correctly, and a DCE, and then 1 Trainer's Mail. So here comes the Oblivion Wing once more. Hits us for 40, that's okay. We are going to knock out this annoying Yveltal. And I will actually attach this to the Empoleon. And we will go for the Quaking Punch. Taking the first prize of the game. Can you imagine it? Toad is so strong. Toad is so strong. Amazing. We will get hit for a Dark Head here if my opponent decides to go for that or can get another energy. Otherwise we'll get hit for a Dark Pulse, does 60, which is okay for the energy cost. And here comes the Dark Pulse, hitting us for 70 actually, because of the Fighting Fury Belt. We need to get a Fighting Fury Belt to stay alive. Do we get one? We do get a Fighting Fury Belt, or we can get the Pokemon Center Lady. Or the Birch. Huh. Let's see here. We are out of draw supports. So actually going for the Birch would be the best option here, I think. Fighting Fury Belt would allow us to stay alive one more time, because we have 220. If my opponent does 80 with the Dark Hat, then we stay alive one more time. Let's see here. I will go for the Fighting Fury Belt, I think. Yes, let's go for that. And I will keep this Water Energy in my hand for now. If we stay alive next time, I will put it onto the Toad. Then we can hit for 150 or 160 with the Grenade Hammer. But we will go for a Quaking Punch right now, hitting for 60. And that means we could knock out the Darkrai EX next turn. With the Grenade Hammer, if we so want to. Yes, indeed. And my opponent decides to attach to the Darkrai on the bench. Starts powering up that Darkrai. We get hit for 90. We are at 200 damage counters. That's crazy. We do get a switch. Do I want to switch into the Toad on the bench? Keep this Toad alive. This is a tough question. Do we want to break the item lock? My goodness, this is very tough. Why? If we break the item lock, my opponent could power up this Darkrai with the max elixirs. If we don't break the item lock, oh, we have to decide very quickly here. I will take my chances here, and I will go for a Grenade Hammer, knocking out the Darkrai. I will put 30 on the Prinplup, and then I will put 30 on the Empoleon. That way we go down to 3 prizes. This might have been the wrong call. We will have to see later. But I need that other Empoleon. I definitely need that other Empoleon. We get another Fighting Fury Belt. No Empoleon from the prizes. That is too bad. We miss out on a lot of damage with missing out on that Empoleon. My opponent decides to promote the Shaman. The Shaman is going to knock us out. Uses the Super Rod. So my opponent does get a turn of items right now. Needs to get the most out of this turn. Quite ironically that we will get knocked out by a Shaman. If my opponent looked at our discard pile, he must be wondering why are we playing this Ho-Oh EX and this all-night party. I would be very confused if I was my opponent. So we see the Shaman come down. And a Max Elixir, yes, as I thought. It misses out again on the Max Elixir. I think many of my opponent's energies must be prized somehow, some way. Or my opponent doesn't run enough of the energies. Here comes the Drowsy. I do remember seeing the Hypno in the discard pile. Also Zoroark. Attaches to the Zoroark. Oh, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So we will go down here with the Sky Return. What does my opponent promote is the question. I am very curious right now. Probably the Darkrai. Yes, he does promote the Darkrai. We will promote our Toad and attach a Fighting Fury Belt to it. Then we will Trick Shovel my opponent's deck. We will get rid of that Pokemon fan club, thin out his deck a little bit, and then I will actually put down the Shaman, I think, because we need to draw into some more cards here. Okay, so we get a Stadium to counter, we get a Cherno, that's pretty good. I will use the Cherno. And here we do draw into some more energies, which I will gladly attach somewhere. I will put one on the Toad. And we will go for a Quaking Punch, locking up our opponent once again. Preventing him from attaching any Fighting Fury Belts to this Darkrai. This Darkrai will go down in 3 hits, bringing us down to 3 prizes. Here comes the Hypno and the Zoroark. Zoroark can stand in. And the second attachment to the Darkrai will get hit for a Dark Head. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That is very unfortunate for us. Here comes the setup from the Shaman, bringing my opponent down to 8 cards. What a very, very long game here. Good night, babies. We will stay alive with the Toad. Oh, my opponent can even heal off 30 damage. That is very, very annoying. We don't have a Stadium to counter it, nor do we have a way to get out that Hypno. So I think we lost the game here. That one turn of item cards lost us the game. It was a gamble, and the gamble came back to our face. We get a DCE. Might as well heal some of this damage from the Toad. And then let's see here. I think I will actually go for another Grenade Hammer. Yeah, at least bringing that Darkrai a little bit closer to the knockout. That seems like a pretty good play. So we would be doing 160. That brings the Darkrai. Oh, that knocks out the Darkrai actually. I didn't see that. Ooh, that's actually very good. We will knock out the Darkrai then. I will put 30 on the Shamans, because these Shamans are in knockout range anyways. Oh no! What happened here? Why did we not knock it out? 130 plus 20 from plus 10, that's 160. Does my opponent have something that prevents damage? I am actually not sure. I am very unsure here. Our opponent does stand in with the Zoroark. He's going to knock out the Toad. How did that not work? Very, very peculiar. I have no idea why that didn't work. We will promote the Empoleon. And we will put down another Toad. with a Fighting Fury belt. Then we will switch into the Toad. Here we go. And we will do a Quaking Punch onto the Zoroark. Yeah, I am really not sure what happened there. Very, very peculiar. Huh. I think we should have gotten that knockout. I don't know why we didn't get a knockout. If any one of you knows, put it down below, but I am very confused here. My opponent does decide to bring out the Darkrai once more. Healing off 30 more damage, which will not allow us to knock out the Darkrai. So we lost the match here, but I think we should have actually won the match. Because I don't know why the damage didn't stack up. I'm really, really confused. Yeah, I have no idea. Might as well go for the Birch, the Sycamore. And see if we can do something here. We can Trick Shovel. That's one thing we can do. Trick Shovel it is. On my opponent's deck, we'll Trick Shovel this Ultra Ball. And we'll even Trick Shovel this Zoroark. And too bad we didn't get that Empoleon. That Empoleon would have saved us, but we didn't get it. That is very, very sad. We could knock out the Darkrai with the Empoleon if we could have switched into it, but alas, that is not possible. So I'm actually going to retreat this Seismitoad into the Prinplup here. As crazy as that sounds, and stall for a little bit longer. And hopefully next turn we can knock out the Darkrai, and at least we've come down to one prize then. We lose with dignity, we lose with yeah. Oh, and my opponent retreats into the... is going to knock out our Seismitoad and going to take a game. That is it, that is game. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I am out of words now. I don't know what happened there. I'm kind of stumped about that. I don't see why we wouldn't have knocked out that Darkrai. I am very confused. I'll have to rewatch it and see what happened there. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's episode. A bit of a bummer ending, but oh well, you can't have it all. I think it was still a pretty close game. So that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more wizard deck ideas, for more meta deck ideas, and for more fun deck ideas. And I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.